Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel, honey, and welcome back to another review on Belle Collective, okay? Let me go ahead and get my notes together. While I'm doing that, y'all already know what we like to do over here. We like to get you guys to go ahead and support the channel by liking up the video, okay? And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that as well, honey. Okay, what you waiting on? All right? Now, let's go ahead and get into Belle Collective, and I just want to reiterate a few things when it comes down to these ladies' attire, all right? First things first. All right. Love the color on Akeisha. Absolutely think that it's beautiful on her. Okay. As she was walking behind the scenes, I said, oh, I just love this dress on her. That's grown to be one of my favorite colors. So we see each other. All right. I'm going to give you that. Now, I think that everybody's sitting on the side by Akeisha when it came to Tambra as well as Latrice. I thought they looked absolutely beautiful. Wanted to highlight that. Another thing I had to say was that Gucci was sitting. Okay. We may feel a way about Gucci and want to drag her at times because she be sitting over here disappointing us. But I have to be honest and say that Gucci was giving. Gucci looked absolutely beautiful. She was sitting up there. She was quiet. We didn't need all the ad libs that Akeisha was giving us yet again for the reunion. It was like, Akeisha, shut the hell up. Okay, when she said, I'm trying to count up half. And then her saying, oh, I'm proud of you, Tambra, girl. And it's like, Akeisha, see, you're throwing in your extra 2 cents, my love, because you had nothing going on this season, in all honesty. And to you, you may felt like you had a lot because of Fair Street and all of that. I mean, that was a little piece, but you really ain't have a whole lot going on for real. So maybe that's why you add in your 2 cents, okay? But anywho, let's go ahead and move on. Marie, okay? Marie says that Latrice, and this is behind the scenes, Marie says that Latrice likes to belittle people and she's always looking down on other people. And I thought that was so funny for you to describe yourself but be projecting it onto someone else. That wasn't clicking for me, okay? Everything you said about Latrice is actually how I see you, Marie. So get that together. Letitia over there talking to Glenn, talking about how Latrice is such a liar, and says that Latrice told her how much the fans love them and all they have to do is create doubt. That don't even make no damn sense, because how I feel about that, I feel like you create doubt. You talking about Latrice creating seeds of doubt, and now that she told you that y'all should create seeds of doubt, that's all that you see she does on the show. Actually, no, that's what I see you do, okay? You created doubt with the Tambra situation, the Tambra and Akeisha situation. You created doubt with these brunches, all right? We thought you was really that girl, and every time we see you do a brunch, it's given that you're not. You create doubt with these damn enterprises that you have. We still wondering what the it is that you really do under the enterprise. Hello? You create doubt with that husband, or at least he created it with you, considering the fact that y'all just had a DNA test the last season. Okay, so y'all have a lot of doubt going on. Okay, you create so much doubt that the issues you sat up there and tried to bring forth to say that you and Cliff had together was giving fake as fuck. That's how much doubt that y'all created, because those are the seeds that y'all plant. But you want to sit up here and talk about what Latrice plants. Okay, that's not clicking for me. Marie, again, I'm not interested in your tired storyline when it comes to your mother. All right. It's very sad. It's very unfortunate that this woman has been using drugs all of your life. Okay. And I really hate that for you. But baby, I don't give a dog or a fuck. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't give a dog. What's going on in your life? All right. What's up with your son and his parenting? What role do you play in that, in your son's life and him navigating fatherhood or whatever? What's going on with that? Because we know that you heavily support him. So I'm just wondering what's happening with that. How has life been with you being a single mom again, after getting this divorce from this husband? What is life like for you co-parenting with this ex-husband? Also, I remember you mentioning how you're supposed to be giving him so much of money or something like that. You said like a few seasons ago or reunions ago, you mentioned when y'all were going through the divorce, he wanted a Mercedes. He wanted something from you. I feel like it was around $10,000, and you were going to give him that anyway. So I'm wondering, did you ever give him that money or whatever he was looking for? And what else have you given him? And what else do you have going on? And see, it seems like to me that you don't want to give enough of your storyline because you don't want to be drugged too much by the public. So you only give us stories about your mom thinking that's going to garner sympathy from us, and it's not. Because what makes you look bad is the fact that you in everybody else's business and you don't have enough of your own. See, I blame Carlos and the people meaning the production team that got you thinking that you are the Nene Leakes of this show when you're 1000% not. Okay, I blame them for hyping you up to be more than what you are. And I can't take it. I think that you need to bring things to the show, your business, hello, that's going to allow the audience to connect with you. I do think that that Marie might be a nice person, you know, outside of what she shows on the show. I think when it comes to the show, she feels the need to overperform. Okay, getting in other people's business, doing absolutely too much. And when she does that, it just like, I don't like that. It don't make me like you no more than what I do or don't. What's going on in your life so that we're able to connect with you. Okay, like I said, how are your kids doing? How is co-parenting going? How is your son navigating fatherhood, especially after the mother of his child has passed away? And what role do you play in that? What's going on with Marie? Show us something different, then maybe we'll like you differently. Okay, they speak on Tambra and her daughter. We learned that her daughter has her last name and not Damon's. Am I mad about it? One, it ain't my child for me to be mad about it. Two, I'm with Tambra. Okay, he ain't even give her an engagement ring to at least give her the, he hasn't even proposed to her to at least give her an idea of where they're going in this relationship. So yeah, it's such an honor for your child to get your last name, and guess what? You ain't getting it. Okay, when y'all get married, then y'all can go down there, I guess, and change the baby's name. But I don't fault Tambra for that. So there's that. Now, Marie, we get on the conversation of Marie telling social media about Tambra being pregnant, right? And Tambra says that she was disappointed in this because production was on her tail so much, telling her that she needs to pretty much keep this on the low when it comes to her pregnancy, right? So production was so much on her own ours. And she's like, y'all been on my tail for me to keep it low, but y'all allowed Marie to tell it out loud. That's not cool. And I do think that Marie should be held accountable for her actions, okay? When you tell one cast member to keep their private life private, since it's playing out on the show, then that should apply to everybody. And I don't feel like Marie was operating within the best guidelines for the show. I think she took it personal and she took it to social media. And I don't think she should have exposed that. It's one thing for y'all to take jabs. Everybody on, different reality shows take jabs on social media. But when you're exposing somebody's storyline before it plays out, even if we are hearing rumors, I feel like she should be held accountable for that. Because y'all would have held Tambra accountable had she told her own tea as well. But anyway, girl, Marie says that she didn't know, because then the question comes up or whatever, or the conversation comes up about Marie telling the tea about this woman's business. And Marie says that she didn't know Tambra pregnancy was a secret. BITCH, you knew. You absolutely fucking knew. You know, you've been a part of this show long enough to know that there are certain parts of a storyline, important parts of a storyline that you know are not supposed to be exposed. If you found out that Tambra was pregnant by way of somebody else, then guess what? You also found out that she's trying to keep it on the low until she announces it. But you wanted to ruin her announcement because you have an ego and you made it personal, and you wanted to have a vendetta against her. And it's weird to me because however Tambra feels about you is because of you. Y'all be killing me when y'all do stuff to people, and then when they react, you be acting like they should have never reacted like that, like you were in the right to do what you do. And that's not how that goes. Like, So then Marie flips the conversation and she says that Tambra was playing victim, and by the end of the conversation, Marie made herself the victim. She says Tambra was playing victim, so because Tambra was playing victim, I needed to defend myself. Ma'am, what does defending yourself, even if that's true, which we know is not, what does defending yourself have to do with you exposing her business? What that got to do with you? When the topic of conversation and you needed to defend yourself was more so about you going to meet with an ex from multiple years back. Hello, more than 5 years ago, you're meeting with an ex behind her back. How does her being pregnant now, and what does her being pregnant now have to do with you? and you needing to defend yourself. And Carlos, you really disappointed me because you sat up there and you allowed Marie to say this stupid you allowed her to say this stupid SHI and kind of get away with it, and you did not hold her feet to the fire in any type of capacity. If anything, you sat up there, in my opinion, and you looked at her like she has a point with the BS that she's saying. And no, call her out accordingly. What else? Marie feels like Tambra owed them all details about her being pregnant, because if she's in a space where she felt like people was putting her in danger, then she should have told them she was pregnant, because now she feels like she was in danger and everybody else was in danger because Tambra was pregnant. And I'm like, do you hear yourself? You sound so crazy. Now you're making yourself the victim and you're excusing your actions of what you did, and not once did Carlos hold your feet to the fire and call you out for that. I was very disappointed. So basically what you're saying is, because of your negative and negligent actions that you spewed against Tambra, if it would have led to her possibly miscarrying, you're saying to me that it would be her fault because she never told y'all that she was pregnant. And if she would have told y'all that she was pregnant, then maybe you would have handled the situation differently. That's what I'm hearing. And I don't believe any of that, if that's what you're trying to say. I think that you didn't care about her being pregnant. And you already knew about her being pregnant. And you still didn't care about it. You were going to do whatever it is you needed to do in that scene. Okay, you was gonna stress her out. You was gonna do whatever. You was gonna get your point across. All of that, because you did not consider her feelings when you went to go meet with that person. You didn't consider her feelings before she was pregnant. So I know you're not gonna consider her feelings afterwards, and I know you're not gonna consider how her child is feeling. So you can miss that. You can miss me with all of that. Okay. Carlos did not do a good job checking Marie and telling her to stay on subject about why she told this woman's tea. And then I said, because what are you defending? Because why are you defending yourself? Or what does defending yourself have to do with Tambra's business when you already knew that production wanted to keep everything on the low? Hold her accountable because she was wrong. Y'all need to hold her accountable instead of looking over there in support of her and having her feel like she's the Nene Leakes of this show. And she's not. Okay? Let's not and say that we did. She don't get to pull a Giselle on this show and think that she can spoon feed us parts of her storyline that we don't give a damn about. Okay, instead of giving us everything else, because you giving us storyline about your mama, knowing we not gonna care, so you decide to go and get into other people's business, thinking that's gonna, make you even more relevant. And it's like, nah, that actually make us not like you. That actually makes you the villain. If you want the audience to like you a little bit more, while you over there trying to shelter some of your life, you're gonna have to bring some of that life to the front so that you can be relatable and people can connect with you and maybe possibly even like you. Okay, so girl, get that together. Tambra tells Marie that she should know how it feels to go through this BS, where people are lying on you and people are saying this and that and whatever else to you. You should know how it feels. So why would you turn around and do that to her? And I feel like Marie, what we're seeing, what we're not acknowledging, everybody, we're coming down on Marie, but we can't forget that Letitia, in my personal opinion, Letitia set this up. I really believe that. I feel like Letitia got this kicked off by feeding to Marie how Tambra does not share her life. And I feel like she did that and she knew who exactly to tell, because she knew that Marie would pick the ball up and get it rolling. So I feel like we cannot overlook Letitia's role in all of this. I don't care if she apologized or not, but I feel like she definitely had an initial hand in it by bringing up how this lady ain't as transparent as Letitia wants her to be. And of course, Marie adopts that idea as well and then takes it even further. Like, let's pull this whole card is what it was given. But anywho, so Marie and Tambra end up having like an argument when Tambra was calling her out like, girl, you know that you can relate to this, so why would you do that to me? Marie's over talking Tambra, and then she tells this woman to live her real life. No bitch, you live your real life. And I just gave you different examples and ways of which you can do that. Okay? We do not care about what's happening with your mama. Sorry. Okay? Anywho, the men join us on the stage. Latrice and Cliff is up for them. Time for us to talk about them. We talk about how Cliff grabbed Latrice up at M Bar. Um, Latrice was asked whether or not he calls her a bitch on a regular. Latrice did not necessarily answer the question directly. She was like, not really. The fact that you said not really confirms that he does. And then you saying that, I mean, I call him a B more often. I call him most of the time the BIT than he called me. Carlos said, that's not what we asking. And I said, thank you. Okay, do your job right. Thank you so much. Okay. That's not what was asked, girl. Okay. And I wish you would have had that same card with Marie when the conversation was about her exposing this lady's storyline. I wish you would have said, that's not what we talking about. Okay, why did you do that? She's sitting over here talking about she needed to defend herself. You should have asked her, well, defend yourself against what? You the one that went and sat down and met with this person and that person. What did you exactly need to defend yourself from? I wish you would have been more on point at that time, but it's okay. So then, Latrice, she gives this fake answer saying, I call him a BIT most of the time. Like if I call him a BIT, he may call me whatever. That's what she said. So basically she didn't want to admit on the stage that he does call her out her name. He does. Okay. If he was so comfortable with doing everything he did in M Bar, that's because he does it often. And that's because you've never checked him about it before. And if you have, he doesn't respect you because it's about how he feels in that moment. Okay, so go away from us with this, Latrice. She was asked if she was in an abusive relationship. Okay, Latrice says, I'm glad you asked because most women that are in an abusive relationship tries to hide their bruises or whatever. And she says that Cliff maybe old school, but he ain't no damn fool. Then says he won't put his hands on me. And I said, girl, but he already has. See, what I think it is that Cliff may not babaloo bop but wop bamboo her, but he will grab her up in my personal. And he possibly may even shake her. I don't know. I don't know. But I based on what we have seen, I do believe that he may grab her from time to time because that's what he's shown on camera. And I feel like because he may grab her or snatch her up, she doesn't see that as him being abusive physically as some other women may be getting wop babaloo bop or wop bambooed. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. But I'm like, girl, all of that is should be, considered when it comes to getting physical with you. Because if Cliff did that time, Cliff has done that before. It may not be a regular thing that he does, but he has done it before. At least that's what I believe. So she brings up the ladies dealing with domestic issues, and she's like, y'all out here worried about what I'm going through, but all of y'all ladies about, you know what I'm saying? Or the ladies on the stage, I can't remember, she said all of them or whatever, but she said something like, these ladies are about going through worse, okay? So, Akeisha's like, well, I'm just trying to add up half. Like half of these ladies. What you mean half? Who are you talking about that's been going through stuff, right? I'll tell y'all a little bit what I think, but give me a second. So Akeisha does say that she believes there is truth to Latrice being in an abusive relationship after seeing Cliff snatch her up at the M Bar. And Cliff says, well, listen, we've been together for so many years. She know how to call 911 if she was harmed. And then Akeisha was like, yeah, plenty of women know how to call 911, but also plenty of women have sat there and in these relationships for many years and got their SB and never spoke on it or said anything. Okay, so what you saying to me right now ain't telling me shit, because I've seen it all. That's how Akeisha's feeling. So Cliff says, well, when Carlos asked him about being controlling, Cliff says he's demanding. I'm like, baby, demanding, controlling really goes hand in hand in my personal. Okay, then he says he didn't marry her to control her. He married her for her heart. Yeah, the lies. I'm not believing that. Not believing that. I don't believe nothing that man talking about. Somebody, I married her for her heart. But then you should understand her heart when it comes to her friendships. Okay? But anywho, excuse me, why you trying to sit up there and control who she could be friends with, knowing this person works for her and it's one of her closest friends? Okay, maybe she could talk to him and y'all get on one accord and apologize, but for you to demand that she just not be cool with this person because of what you got going on, but if she asked you to not be cool with Glenn, you wouldn't even do that? You would not do none of the SHI that you want her to do for you. Anywho, Letitia was asked about whether she believes that Latrice is in an abusive relationship. So hear me. Letitia says, well, unlike Latrice, when it comes to the things that she's told me about Cliff, I won't be speaking on any of that, okay, in front of the group. BITCH, good night and goodbye. The reason why I say that is because you will sit up there and speak on what you learned about Tamra with other people. You will speak on different things you know about Letitia with other people, as we've seen just this very season. But now all of a sudden, you don't want to speak on what Latrice has going on with Cliff, or whatever she's told you with Cliff. You know what that tells me? That tells me that either you ain't been hearing nothing from Latrice and you just want to talk and, make it seem like you may have heard some stuff, but you just ain't speaking on it now. Or, and this is the latter one that I believe the most, or you don't want to speak on anything that Latrice has told you about Cliff, because if you speak on it, Latrice is going to counter respond to you and speak on the shit that you've told her about Glenn. And that's the shit that you don't want to get out, is what I believe. You're not ready for her to rebuttal your ass and tell you the tea, or tell the group the tea that you told her about your man. That's what it's given to me. But anywho, girl, Latrice, okay, Latrice and Cliff. Cliff thinks that Latrice should not have gone out with Josh after he disrespected Cliff, and I just feel like he wouldn't do the same for her. Josh comes out and hits the stage, and then Cliff, he over there bothered, some like, why are you here? You ain't no Belle, baby. I love when Josh said, and you ain't no Belle either. Come on, baby. I was here for that. I was like, eat them up, Josh. Eat them up. I do feel like Cliff has somewhat of an issue with gay people, okay? I don't know what it is, because it's like, I don't know. I think he don't be 100% comfortable in his skin, because when he tried to downplay the relationship he had with Josh, and everybody had to highlight, or at least Carlos or whoever had to highlight, like, nah, y'all actually do have a good relationship because I've witnessed certain things to show that y'all had a good relationship. He wanted to make sure that it was very clear that they have had a good, like, friendship, or like, he's like a puppy, like a little brother type, or whatever it was, so people don't think that it's more than what it is. And I'm just like, yeah, I think you might still have an issue with that. They may make you feel some type of way inside or something. I don't know. It was just weird. But I feel like you don't have an issue with Carlos because Carlos is the boss. But I think that you do kind of have like an issue with gay people. Especially with you being a person that has this old school way of thinking. But anywho, so Cliff says Josh isn't a friend because he told him the truth about himself. No, Cliff says Josh isn't a friend. I say that you saying Josh is not a friend of Latrice because he got you together and he told you the truth of what you need to hear. Yes, I feel like there were times that Josh definitely overstepped his boundaries. But instead of you being solely mad at Josh for calling you out, you need to be mad with yourself and the fact that your wife feels more comfortable confiding in her friends about you than actually coming to you. Okay, so get that together. All right, so Josh says that he doesn't think Cliff hits her. He just doesn't like how Cliff talks to her. Josh says he would have apologized to Cliff if given the opportunity, but he never talked to him because of how hostile he is towards him. And we ended up seeing that before the reunion was over. When Josh was saying that he would have apologized, Cliff was like, well, you still ain't do it. Why you ain't do it? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, this is the reason why he hasn't done it. When he wants to offer you an apology, your ignorance shows. And it'd be like, I'm good with where we at. Don't worry about it, baby. You don't need no apology from me. I'm good with where we at. Okay, so you got to read the room. All right. So there's that. Now, Cliff does offer an apology to Josh, but it was a horrible ass apology. It was a throwaway apology. It was a, let me go ahead and get this out the way before Carlos try and ask me to apologize. Let me just say, my bad. I'm sorry. And Carlos allowed this man to give a lackluster, horrible apology and then gonna turn to Josh and say, do you accept it? No. Would you accept that apology, Carlos? No, you would not have. You should have turned to Cliff and say, Cliff, that really did not come off as sincere. It really came off like, I'm just trying to say something. Okay? Do you really want Josh to accept an apology from you? Well, then, say it appropriately. How would you have preferred for Josh to say it to you? What if Josh gave you an apology like that? You wouldn't accept it. So, like, you could have called him out about that. But anyway, Josh says that he doesn't accept the apology and says that he doesn't want it. Josh says, but at the end of the day, I ain't got no problem with Cliff. Cliff the one that got the problem with me. Josh tells Cliff, listen, You know, because he kept trying to force Josh to apologize in that moment. And Josh says, listen, baby, you can't control me like you control Latrice. That's what you're not going to do. Okay? He says he has tried to apologize, but feels like based on Cliff's actions, it makes him not want to apologize. I feel like Cliff is very disrespectful. He gave a lot of insults to Josh that were not needed at all. Cliff decides to give Josh another apology, which could have been a little bit better, I guess. And Josh did accept that apology. So once he accepted that apology that came from Cliff, which seemed to be a bit more sincere than the first one, Carlos tells Josh to come over because Carlos was definitely about to force them to hug it out or handshake it out. Absolutely not. Okay, Carlos says it's not that deep. That disappointed me because I'm like, to you, it's not that damn deep. Before we even got to this part of the conversation, I could tell from Josh's energy right at the beginning that he was feeling low and he was already holding back tears. Okay, from the very beginning that he came out there. So obviously it is that deep for him because he's fighting being emotional in that moment. Come on now. Because soon as the boy came out there, Cliff started taking shots at him. And for you to direct it towards Josh to say that it's not that deep, that's not cool because Josh never made it that deep. Cliff did. Cliff got them to where they at. Yeah, Josh may have said some stuff or whatever. And Cliff, you could have checked him in the moment and then moved on. But you continue trying to ice that boy out. Really wanted to get him fired from his job. Don't want him in your house. Don't want him to come around. All this and that. You tried to alienate that man. So because you took it further, I feel like you need to go and talk to Cliff because Cliff made it that damn deep. Not Josh, in my personal, okay? And I just felt like as a host, you know, in this particular moment for me, okay, as a host, why would you sit up there and tell him it's not that deep? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Yet when Mel and Martell sit up there and argue about the silliest, smallest shit, regardless of who brought it up, I don't think you ever say it's not that deep for either one of them. You know, when it came down to Kimmy and not Tisha, but Tisha and Kiki, I don't think you ever said it's not that deep. When it's Mel and Stormy, I don't think I've heard you say it's not that deep. Because when the Stormy started talking about a damn post on Facebook and her mama, I don't think you told her mama it's not that deep. Why are you coming at Mel? Like, you know what I'm saying? So for you to say that to Josh, I don't know. I just kind of felt the way about that. And then you go on to say that nobody on this stage thinks it's that deep. Sir, it didn't happen to nobody else on that stage. So however they feel about it, who gives a fuck? It didn't happen to them for them to think that is that deep. Now, for me, I feel like it might be different because I'm on the outside looking in and I'm speaking on it from my channel or whatever. So I would think that it could potentially, not this situation, but other situations I might think, oh, it ain't that deep. But y'all the ones that got a clearer eye view than me because y'all are around the mess and know all the ins and outs and the nuances of it. So with that being said, why would you sit up there and say that it's not that deep? I didn't like that. Like, get that together, baby. Read the room a little more. At the end of it all, Joshy gets emotional. Carlos does go over, which I do appreciate, and Akeisha to console him. But Latrice gets up, walks over there, and not one time did she put her hands on him. I didn't see that. I didn't see her really console him, give him a hug, let him know it's gonna be okay, Joshy. I got your back. None of that. All she did was walk over there and then tell this man, let's go get your face together. I was like, girl, what? I don't really like that. She didn't have emotional intelligence or something. Like, she just was not, I think she may have trouble connecting emotionally or something, because it was definitely off for me. I was like, Latrice, girl, this ain't it. This here is not it, girl. It's just not. But anywho, let's go ahead and hop over here onto Twitter, because I want to see what some of the Bells may have had to say over here on Twitter. So let me go ahead and share a screen. Okay, we're now on Carlos's page, because he responded to something that I wanted to, check out. So where is it? Let me see. I might have to go to Akeisha's page for it. I might have to. Ooh, child, somebody told Carlos, why did you spend the entire reunion part 2 on Latrice? Can we talk about why side chicks are winning the fight with Selena and Gucci? Willie never being in Mississippi, anything else? Oh, wow. So then Carlos says, part 3, love, see you next Friday. Based on the previews, I do believe we are definitely going to get into Gucci, Selena, and JJ. Now, as far as Willie never being in Mississippi, I don't think that we're going to get those answers on next week's episode. I think that whatever's going on with Akeisha has been wrapped up by the first reunion part 1. Let's see if there was more, because there was, and I'm just trying to find it. Let me see. Okay, this is it. This is the one that I saw. So they said, at Carlos King, I love you down, but personally, I feel like Latrice should have cussed you out after she answered your abuse question the first time and you continued to pry. Even if she was being abused, this isn't a way to get a victim of DV to open up. That is very true. I feel if she's sitting right next to the person that could have violated her, of course she's not going to sit up there and tell you like, oh yes, I'm being abused. Absolutely not. She's not going to do that. Now, when you pulled her to the back and she was emotional and crying and you said no cameras, that probably was a time that she would have sat up there and told you what was tea. And then you could have just used the hot mic situation, right? Not at that particular time, but if it was a separate emotional time and y'all were on topic about that, then that probably would have made sense, right? But anywho, Carlos responds and says, I love you too, and I'm only responding to clear the air. At Latrice Rogers 1 asked me to ask all the questions about this topic because she wanted to clear the air and set the record straight about her marriage, okay? I could believe that too. I could believe that that's what she wanted because those pictures started to swarm around. At least I believe it did when it came down to her being, those bruises on her body or those marks that appear to be bruises on her body or whatever, right? So yeah, that was the main thing that I wanted to get to. Let's go over here to Akeisha's page and see what she has been talking about lately. Let's scroll, see what she got going on. So when Carlos responded to this saying he wanted to ask all of the questions, this is what Akeisha says. She says, woo child, this. And Latrice, can you please clear this air and let these folks know I was not a part of no gang up on you and took no sides. We addressed our issue in front of everyone and moved on no matter what was actually shown. Akeisha, baby, why are you piggybacking off of a tweet about abuse and then asking her to clear up whatever y'all had going on as far as a gang up? You think that you were not ganging up on her, but Latrice may have definitely felt that. Girl, she may not have known how to describe it in the moment, but as she experienced it and then now watching the playback on television, she may very well feel like that. I don't know. Or maybe y'all talked it out and y'all sorted it out. But girl, what? Why are you piggybacking off of an abuse tweet and asking her to clear that up, that you wasn't ganging up on her? And guess what? She could clear it up all day. We saw what we saw. Same way she could sit up there and clear up, oh, my husband doesn't do this. He doesn't control me. He doesn't do that. Girl, we saw what we saw. Okay? It's likely no changing. Let's move on. Is there anything else that she had? Okay. Yeah, shout out to the sisterhood, honey. Founders Day was yesterday. No, when was it? It was the other day, whenever it was. But anywho, let's move the hell on. Let's see what Maria is over here talking about. Maria is talking about new faces. Okay, mask on, mask off is what it's giving. Marie, I'm not saying that you should not use filters. Everybody's going to use them. They're going to do what they want to do. But can you at least make sure you look like your damn self? Girl, it's making me think of Beyonce. Are you happy with yourself? Pretty hurts. Girl, that's what you're making me think about. Pretty hurts. And it doesn't give that you're happy with yourself, okay? That's not what it is, okay? So I need you to fix that immediately. Okay, are you happy with yourself? It doesn't seem like it. I don't think she was talking about nothing else over here. I don't think she was talking about nothing else. She said, okay, these are old tweets here. The only thing she said over here is believe what you want and stand on that SHI. I simply just don't give a F at all. Girl, go away with this filtered face. Anywho, let's see what else we got going on. It looked like Latrice got a little active that night when the tweets came in. Let's see what she had to say. Oh wow. Oh wow, girl, it's a lot. It's a lot. We don't care nothing about her man, her man, her man, her man. Um, Glenn, you pillow talk too much to reference me. In the words of Kendrick Lamar, sit down, be humble. Somebody says, I don't like how they are trying to make it seem like Cliff is whooping on Latrice. So Latrice says, let's talk about the real abusers, but I'm not in the business of telling the next woman's story. Listen, that is a shot to Letitia. I don't care what nobody's talking about. That's a shot to Letitia. I'm not in the business of telling the next woman's story because I feel like Latrice said, oh, I'm unlike Latrice. I'm not going to share her story. I think that was a shot. That was her way of letting us know who it is. Okay. What else happened? I'm going to skip past that. Someone says, when Latrice brings up the ladies have all been a victim of DV, the hit dog hollered. And Latrice was basically saying, and what Latrice was basically saying is, don't try to spread and assume lies about my marriage when I know the truth. Y'all seen who tried to push her up. Facts, okay? So then they go on to say, it's crazy to me how y'all know so much about my marriage but want to keep yours private and want to create stories and start acting. Okay? Girl, I can't. Overacting. Not overreacting, but overacting about what's happening. Girl, let's talk. So then a Chef Don says, Akeisha, I was liking your energy during the season, but you giving a whole different person at this reunion. What is this? Come on. Definitely, I have to agree. And it was easy to like her energy during the season because she wasn't giving us shit. Hello? She wasn't doing nothing. So then Latrice says, didn't know we had an issue until last week. Let's talk about it last week. But catch this, though. The reunion was filmed back in August or September. So you really knew that y'all had an issue back then. Okay? Unless something else done popped off. So now Akeisha is like, and please, can you tell the people I wasn't ganging up on you? So obviously Latrice still feels like you were. Anywho. Latrice says the only thing that bothers me is that y'all want us to have way more issues than we actually have. Ooh, I don't know, Latrice. I don't know if they want y'all to have way more issues. I don't know, but it's definitely given that he's controlling, and that is enough of issues for sure. All right. Somebody says, what's Willie's issue with Cliff? Because it's clear he don't like the man. And then Latrice says, I clearly don't understand. I don't think he likes the way that man thinks. I don't think he likes the old school mentality that he has. That's what I think is really going on. Latrice says no more projecting an attempt to victim shame. DV to many women, she says DV to many women die at the hands of their abusers. For the Bells to use this for a storyline, how disgusting. Well, I don't think they necessarily used it as a storyline, but I think that they did, bring it up. Okay, because he is controlling. I feel like more of the fans probably mentioned it than the Bells did. Okay, when it comes to like actual physical. But that's just what I think. I'm sure y'all will let me know in the comments because that's just how y'all is, okay? Now, somebody says all the husbands are disrespectful to their wives except JJ and Willie. And then Latrice says you may want to double check those resumes with multiple law enforcement agencies at So Gucci. Since we on it, let's go. I'm up tonight. Girl, so are you saying that JJ done got physical with Gucci or somebody else? Oh, wow. I mean, you was friends or are friends with Selena, so you probably would know a bit more. And not you to tag Gucci, too. I'm screaming. That's crazy, girl. All right. So somebody said Latrice is self-made. She came well-established with deep pockets before Cliff. Then the two combined forces and became a powerhouse couple. The misinformation is that Cliff made Latrice. That's totally incorrect. Okay. Somebody says I absolutely know this, but I'm looking at what Marie may think. She has a bitterness against her, and Letitia's marriage is, in my opinion. And Latrice says the truth don't need motivation. This is the one where she says that windows are finally in. What I told some of my patrons about. This is the post that she was talking about. So it looks like they have a bar and grill that is indeed on the way. So that's what's going on Latrice's page. I feel like Letitia ain't posted nothing since people drug her ass last episode. And she hasn't. All she has done was gotten drug about that attire, girl. And this BIT has not been on the internet since January 5th. Yikes, girl. I would have moonwalked off of it too, honey. Yeah, I surely would have, because they was dragging you, baby, and I was definitely one of them. Let's see what else. Let's see what Gucci is over here talking about. Let's see. Is there anything? Meanwhile, at the Williams, I guess they're out and about or something. They're having them a good time, I suppose. Somebody says, I know JJ beat Selena. But baby, he going upside Gucci head too. It's not funny if he is, but it's just how they set up the tweet. The person says that's why she getting all them layaway trips and the new car. Whoa. And then Gucci said only thing getting beat is this cat. Now Gucci, bitch. We don't need to know y'all elder business, girl. We do not need to know all of that. Okay? Keep that between y'all. All right. Somebody says get ready for the Willie and JJ show. Let me tell you, if it's not for them kids, Star, Sky, and Sanjay, y'all ain't got nothing going on. And if we do the Willie and JJ show, well, I'm thinking of not the Willie and JJ. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the Gucci and JJ show. If we were to do that, y'all definitely gonna have to let Selena be a part. But we know Gucci don't. We know that Gucci feels small when she's in the same space as Selena. But anywho, get ready for the Willie and JJ show. We shall see. All right. Is there anything else? Somebody says at Latrice, I really hope you know mental/emotional abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. That's very true. Controlling is a sign of abuse. Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. And that is why So Gucci reposted it. But So Gucci has not denied any of the claims from what I'm seeing of what Latrice said about JJ and needing to pull up some records. Okay? Because ain't that's what she said? Let me hop back over here to Latrice's page. She says you may want to double check those resumes with multiple law enforcement agencies at Gucci. Okay. So she's insinuating that JJ has a record himself. Okay. But Gucci has not denied any of that. She just told her she retweeted, don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. Yikes. All right. Let's see what Tambra's talking about. Someone says this whole show is based around Latrice and Tambra being hated on. None of the ladies applaud them for their accolades. Tambra says in entertainment, they teach us it's all about content. You have to have good content. What are you talking about? Who are you talking about? So I guess we are great content. And she added Latrice. Boom. So there's that. I don't think anything else has been happening on Tambra's page. But listen, baby, this right here is cute. I might have to collect me one of these t-shirts, though. Oh, I forgot one. Mood all 2024. Don't sell t-shirts and sweatshirts, but they do. She says, I don't sell t-shirts and sweatshirts, but they do. Grab my exclusive. Take care, baby. Listen, I may have to get me one of them. And it's red and white. I might have to get one of them. Tambra, why you ain't doing them for y'all pink and green? Why you ain't got them for them? Girl, I might have to hop over there and see what you got, because I might have to collect me a Take Care baby. For sure. Okay? I need to get me. Somebody asked me. Shout out to Jamie. Jamie had asked me about my merch shirt. And I was like, oh, girl, I got to, update some stuff and get things added to the new site and all that other stuff like that. Girl, I got to get it together. But anyway, girl. This is a piece of inspiration from Miss Tambra Cherie, and I'm probably gonna have to go ahead and cop that. I mean, y'all know I love me a good sweatshirt, honey, because I stay cold. It don't matter. It could be summertime and I'm freezing. Okay, somebody. So I'm like, girl, let me go ahead and I might have to collect me one of them. But anyway, girl, that's all that I got. Wanted to bring y'all the latest deets when it comes to Belle Collective, my thoughts, what the tweets are saying. I want you guys to go ahead and hop down in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the episode reunion part 2. I am Jamie. That's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JamiThatsMe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
City and cul-de-sac, coming out swinging like soldier rag, leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind, knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive, I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda, we hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer, we come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest, but drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to